Hello, hello. Hey, Chili. You claimed first. Hey, David. So we are probably gonna be working on the loot box game today. There are a couple other things I wanted to do, which maybe we parallelize with doing this. I'm not totally sure yet. But one of the pieces of work is that Quickie Joe produced a bunch of graphics. I want to show these. My screen just went black. Okay, yeah. Let me read this really fast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Morning, David. Yeah. So check this out. So we now have these graphics in the game. Well, not yet. I haven't done the pull request, but and then there are these sprite recolor masks for all of this that label all the different colors. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. It's nice to see everything start to come together. Morning, Chili. All right, so let's go see where we left off here. I did a little bit of work yesterday. Where's my controller? I did a little bit of work, but not too much. This controller is not currently on. I want to try something really fast. If I do this, there was a problem yesterday where moving in just cardinal directions on my keyboard, where they're digital buttons, was causing it to move slightly off, like left and right in this case. Hey, Rob. It doesn't look like it's happening now. Is it? No, it's not happening now. And if I speed this up, no. We're like perfectly in line with that bucket on the side. And if I move left to right, yeah, everything's fine. All right, but then if I plug in the controller, what happens? This is where I'm guessing things start to break. All right, now I press left to right. Yeah, now we're moving upward. So I think this is just the controller being plugged in. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I should probably write that down somewhere because this is due to controller drift. Yeah. I wonder how you know when a controller is just bad. I guess it's whenever the game you're controlling is not fun or you're not doing that well. I remember I had the original Joy-Cons. These, if you haven't seen them. And the left ones in particular, for some reason, were known for drifting a lot more. And I remember I was playing Breath of the Wild, and I was on top of a tower, and Link just walked off the edge just due to Joy-Con drift and died. I was like, all right, I got to get this taken care of. That's when I knew for sure, okay, this is negatively impacting my experience. And I sent it back to Nintendo, and I think they tried fixing them. I don't remember. Yeah. Hey, Chef Alton. All right, so treasure stands. This should open the chest, given the luck meter, grant items, spawn some number. We can ignore luck and just grant 3 every time. Oh yeah, so luck probably should. So I guess part of a loot table could be we can probably have upgrades affect the quantity of loot. But I think you should see some improvement just by opening them regularly. That way players are in incentivized, I guess, to try to open at max luck. All right, so this is done. Items reply to an empty display, blah, blah, blah. This is done too. Yeah, so this is something I worked on yesterday briefly. Did I do other stuff? Yeah, I did some other stuff yesterday, but it was like administrative work. So here's what I can show off now. If you buy a chest and you get some items, let's get a couple more actually. That's fine. Okay, so now customers can come over and buy the items. We don't have money in the game, but you can see them, you can see them purchase the item. There's no sound effect for it yet either. But yeah, looks pretty good. They like stop and purchase it, unlike in Skeleseller where they just keep walking. Yeah. So I like this. Hey, Phil. The treasure chest you buy doesn't actually matter. But yeah, it's looking pretty nice. speed this up so customers come buy this stuff. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's keep going with this. So this we can do later. I don't think we should worry about this too much yet. Grant items. If you don't have room, float in the air, delete it. So we got to improve the deleting items thing. Where is that? Polish. When deleting items directly from the chest, they fly upward, but they don't do so with a nice tween / position. I should improve the look of that. This is done. We can have cooler, bigger, or more colorful particles play based on how much luck you had. Yeah, that's a polish thing. What else? Play different sounds based on how much luck you had. Yep, sure. We got to incorporate luck at some point. I just haven't done that. All right, so price setting. Is it the time to work on that now? And this can be polished as well. I guess we don't have that many like real tasks left to do. But yeah, price setting is a big one. Manifest the rest of the items. Spawn from chest and fly to open stands. There's no item stacking. This is done. So activate the dialogue when interacting with the item display that the item is on. We got to figure out how this behavior is going to work exactly. So one of the questions I have, can a customer buy an item whose price you're setting? And I'm leaning toward no, so that you can change the price without being interrupted. Yeah. I don't think there's even anything else we need to write for this. I think that's just it. While the dialogue is open on a stand, customers are not allowed to buy that particular item. And the price doesn't actually get saved until you like close out of that dialogue. So I'm thinking is the dialogue should probably look like 4 number setters here. And then set price and cancel. And cancel could have the price that you had originally there. Alternatively, I mean, this could be a like reset button, but I think it's more obvious as cancel. And they're all in a line. That way you can increase or decrease the price of these things. Maybe we even have arrows next to the, or like up and down arrows above and below the selected number to indicate that you can change the price that way. Yeah. Set a price for this item. And show the currently set price above the item at all times. Do we really want to do that? I should probably make some like cheat button that's gonna just give me a bunch of items. Yeah, maybe like a fill all items displays. That'd be pretty nice. I like that idea. But still, I want to take a picture of this for right now. Let's paste this in here. Let's also write a thing about, whoop, what just happened? Let's write a thing about adding a cheat. Add a cheat that will grant a bunch of everything. Item displays, items in those displays, chests, treasure stands, chests, money, etc. Call it grant most things. Just like Skeleseller. So this is done. Leaving town, getting upgrades in the portal, yeah. I think we can get upgrades and price setting done certainly by the end of today. Then maybe the treasure opening mini game. Like we can do this stuff. We don't have any cheats in the game right now, do we? What is going on? There it is. No. Yeah. So I think let's start with that. It should add customers for now, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna have this work, and then we're probably gonna go look at some other things while this is running. What is going on here? There we go. New rate limit. Is that for the week or the month? No, it should be for the week. Yeah. All right, so add a loot boxes specific sheet with the text grant most things that will make sure you have at least 10 customers in town. Make sure you have fill each treasure. What's it called? Treasure stand? Yeah, fill each treasure stand with a random treasure chest. And fill all item displays with random items. Yeah. Hey, stats. Good day to you. Is there anything else we want to do for this? No, I think this is good. Nice nibble. And then what was that down here? I see. Yeah, so let's just let that run. While this is running, so this is what we're on right now. While this is running, I want to look through some of the itch summer sale. I found some asset packs that I think would be kind of cool. Which is this? And there are also asset packs that I've already wanted to buy. Oh, is it not loading now? Oh, no, it is. Okay. Yeah, like I wanted some of the ones in here. I don't know what this is. What is this one? It's taking some time to load. Oh, hey, this person responded to my comment. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not really loading right now. All right, nice. So do I have any need for this? Not really. They say hex characters. What about this makes them hex? I don't understand. I think it's just the name of... Huh. The name of like this style that they have or something? I'm not totally sure. But anyway, I did want some of these packs. I guess I can't really show these off right now. Then this I thought might be kind of cool. I don't think it's a load either. Okay. Well, fine. We'll come back to this later. Man, this is some of the work I wanted to do today. And yeah, we can't right now. But I got to make sure that we've spent some time on this. Afternoon, I should really figure out asset purchases. Many assets are on sale that I was already thinking of buying. And then some are on sale that I've already purchased. So I could have saved some money for that. But that's okay. Yeah, so anyway, this could be one of the 3D games in Stuck in a Broken tutorial. Here's everything, as far as I understand, that's in this pack. So they've got some dominoes, some little tokens here, some like almost Monopoly looking things, some pawns, a house, a little character. These, which remind me of Guess Who. These I'm not totally sure what I would expect these to be. Maybe like something on a board of a board game, and some dice. And Yeah, I don't have a great idea for this yet. The idea that struck me was it'd be kind of funny if we were like, okay, set up the game. I want you to arrange a dominoes in the form of your ATM pin, and like I don't know, maybe there'd be something in letters, and we'd be like, all right, now spell out your mother's maiden name here, and just like kind of poke fun at how I guess games don't do this as much as sites do this, but that they try to get personal data out of you. I think it'd be funny, but I think we need to go in a different direction because I don't know how much of this would even translate. So yeah, I don't have a game idea specifically for this, but I like these little pieces. Didn't know you're going 3D. Well, I think at least one or two of the games should probably be 3D. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, there was extra stuff here. Yeah, cards, card backs, a chessboard, and that's everything, I think. Yeah, I think that's everything. So yeah, I don't have an idea for that. Hey, Luna, are you also fighting the worst heat wave in forever over there? It's not bad here. It's actually raining right now, and I had to like wear a hoodie outside. And yesterday was pretty cool too. But there have been some hot days and there have been some heat advisories over here. It just I don't think it's as bad as the rest of the world. How has it been for you? I'm guessing pretty bad. And then what else do we have here? All right, yeah, none of this is really loading. All right, well, whatever. All right, let's not worry about this. Let's just go back to this. Man, I cannot get this to stop asking me about this. I specifically, so where's it trying to make this? Private/temp. I have an agent.md file that's supposed to make it stop doing this. BT, codecs, agents. Yeah, use this for temporary GD scratch files. Apparently that is not clear enough. When making temporary Godot scripts, .gd files, use this instead. Yeah. Create them in here. Oh, I'm so sick of this prompt. I don't mind if it creates a GD script and it asks me every time. And I've been trying to work around this and I cannot figure out how to do that. Maybe this will finally do it. Having record highs going to 40. Wow, really? Yeah, that is definitely too bad. I heard that it can affect how trains run. I don't remember if it was Germany or the UK where they had that problem. Hey, Pickle, hang around that. Going from Washington weather to a side where the sun is trying to kill you seems like a terrible choice, but that hasn't stopped me in the past. Yeah, I know a lot of people travel during the summer because the weather was typically nice and because your family might have vacation time or something like that, but I don't want to go to some place that's like 100 degrees. It's going to destroy my enjoyment of it. So, yeah, and we've traveled in the past and it's been like super hot in some places. And yeah, I find that I'm just like I'm irritable and tired and if the place doesn't have like air conditioning, then I'm just sweating in bed with it's not comfortable. All right, I'm actually kind of surprised it's even taking this long. Let's just go try it ourselves and see how this did. Yeah, in summer you suffer. Ain't that the truth? Okay, cool. So we got all of our items here. And if we didn't have enough customers, it would add them. But I think we have at least 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we have exactly 10. But that means that we can delete them now, right? Where are you, loot boxes? Yeah, we have 10 exactly. So let's just put 1 in there and try the cheat. So let's delete a bunch of stuff. We eventually want to do this with item displays too. All right, so I run the cheat now. Yeah, pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And they should go buy items. They are. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And we got our treasure chest. This is very neat. It's just like a slightly different take on Skeleseller. I like it. Very cool. All right, let's take a look at what it did. Added the cheat. Sounds good. Try place item is occupied. So this is here because of how our treasure chest needs this. Yeah. But how do treasure chests do this? I guess this just puts it on there to begin with. Yeah, I think this is fine. All right, we got rid of the customers and we added in the cheat file, and that should be it, right? Yeah. So let's go look at just this file now. So cheat only methods. Oh yeah, that's true. Kept in a separate partial. Doesn't have to know about the cheat menu. Cool. Treasure chest types. I don't like that we save this off in a couple different places. Get random treasure chest type. Yeah, I want that to be called. This is already in cheats, and it does it from cheat treasure chest type. Yeah, I don't think we need this here. It's only when you cheat anyway. So I'll put this here, var chest types. So there's no target value for this, so we can't just use var. So I guess it's a list of treasure chest types. And then this is not how this should work. It should be get random element. All right, I like it. Now we can delete this. Cheat item IDs. What's this doing? This is also not a good idea. Don't we just randomly do this somewhere else too? Yeah. Inside treasure stand. We could make this public. I don't know if there's a reason to do that at all. Also like this. This should be get random. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's an array. We could make, wait, we don't have an array extension for that? Array extensions. No, there's just get within bounds. Okay, well, we might as well add this list extension. Get random element. So return array dot length. Okay, cool. Hey Goose. How you doing? Original Goose. Goose Classic. And hey Method. Hey Snow Goose. Why is Goose such a popular name? I don't like geese in real life, but like a cartoon goose I think would be cute. Like the Untitled Goose Game Goose. Like this is great, sure. But in real life, I prefer ducks. Oh, hey, this thing loaded. I can show it a little bit. So these animations are very rhythmic, and it made me think it'd be kind of neat to make a rhythm game that is a battle system somehow. I don't know how. But yeah, I think that could be really, really cool. I don't know what the broken part would be. A rhythm battle game. I think the idea could be pretty neat. Not sure how it would be a broken tutorial though. Maybe it's positioned as a regular battler. And you just happen to do things to the rhythm and get a better effect. You have a tavern full of geese, you can't say that. Ducks, ducks, ducks. Can you share the link? Yeah, sure. And they do this every once in a while. They put a -1 in the URL. Like, does this person have a -2 there? It's probably not gonna load. But yeah, if I were what view bundle $70. There's another thing that kind of blows my mind. Is there are some artists who sell all of their assets for like $400 or 1,000. Okay, they do have a bunch of these. Wow. Yeah, wow. This looks pretty good. Yeah, but that's one of the problems is like, do I want to pay $70 for this? Do I have like a really compelling game in mind? Part of a $70 bundle. What's like an average accepted price? So for any individual pack, you can see the prices here, like $9, $3, $3, 3. I find that almost everything I've bought so far, in fact, let me just show you the prices of what I bought so far. It's in here somewhere. Monetary costs. Yeah, so here's everything I bought. The most expensive one was $15, and then the second most expensive ones were about 6, and then all the rest were in the 1 to 5 range. Although this one's not really fair because this is actually totally free, and I only paid $1 because you need to use the license or to get the license for it. And I'm using a tiny amount of graphics from that. So yeah, I think in my mind the fair range is somewhere in the like $1 to $7 range. And if an asset is really high quality, like this platformer character, I think is really, really nice. I think 15 is still a little on the pricey side. Yeah, no pressure as is. Hey, Jesta, and thank you. Had an interesting day. I was busy doing my morning routine when a potential customer rudely called me while I was ordering my coffee. I gave him the time at 12 p.m. I was telling my wife about this, and I'm like, I wonder what his point of view would be for this. Like, I only called the guy 15 minutes late. Like, why was that a problem? And I wonder if he loses business a lot. For those who don't know what Jesta's poking fun at, I was maddened by this. I posted a little story on Discord. I'll say it now so you don't need to read this off the screen. But yeah, I had a call set up with a CPA. It was a 1 p.m. I call again. I then email. He calls back at 1:13 and he's like, "Hey, is this Adam?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, hold on a second." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take a tall coffee, extra cream, whatever, dark roast. You got the dark roast part, right?" And I'm thinking, like, am I really hearing this right now? Like, I'm hearing him say his coffee order. And then the barista's like, "Do you want anything else?" And he says, "Oh, yeah, I want some espresso grounds. You got that, right? Espresso machine." And he's like, "I apologize." I said, I don't think I'm going to be moving forward with this. And he like does not skip a beat. He's just like, "Okay, thanks, bye," and hangs up the phone. I thought, really, like, you call me 13 minutes late and then have me listen to your coffee order. You literally could have just muted your phone and been like, "Sorry, there was an emergency." And I would have been like, "Oh, okay, there's an emergency." Or you could have just waited 2 minutes and then called me 15 minutes late and then I wouldn't have heard a coffee order. But like to call me and before I can even say, "Hi, how are you?" or whatever, and like rattle off a coffee order. I was like, there's no way I'm going with this guy to handle financial stuff. Yeah. So 400 is like way out there on acceptable levels. Well, 400 for an entire bundle. So it does depend on the bundle. Like this one is 70. Yeah, this is $70 and you get all of these. So if you were to buy them yourself, normally it'd be twice that price. But that's one of the big questions is like, do you need Castle Ruins in addition to Gray Graveyard? Like probably not. So like that's $3.30 you'd save if you were buying them outright. Like, and yeah, a lot of this, they're not like a crazy amount of assets. Like here you can see that's the entire asset. You're getting one sprite sheet and allow you to make some like blue looking castles. And then this is called Gray Graveyard. It's probably pretty similar. So like, is this worth $3 if this is the bulk of your game? Yeah, that's worth it probably. But this is like one room in a game. So in order to make all of your game, you probably are spending, hundreds of dollars on sort of pre-made assets, not custom ones. Hey, C17R. Might have been eccentric. Might have been a mastermind. I just I just thought like, does this guy want new customers? Is it some kind of like power play he does at the beginning to see what he can get away with? It just blew my mind. And there wasn't like oh hey, I'm sorry, like I got off on the wrong foot. Yeah, I shouldn't have called you and ordered coffee. Oh man. Finance bro dominance thing. Oh, it also comes with some fonts and everything too. Yeah, so I want to look through more of that, and I want to do that today as we're kind of waiting for some other things to happen. But yeah, for now, let's keep looking through this part. We have the cheat here, and the part where we grant items, I was just debating on how do we want to do this each time. Like, how does this work? This is just an O of n function, right? I guess it's actually a little more than that because we also have this with a capture in here. So I guess saving it off is fine. All right, then let's go use this from the other place where we save it off. In here, this should just be public. And then from here, we delete that. And cheat item IDs turns to what? Treasure stand dot item IDs. Okay, but then presumably we have a get random element thing happening here. Get random item ID. Can't this just be public? Can we then make this private? Yeah, I feel like the AI should have done this, but it didn't. Whatever. Random item ID. At which point we don't really need this function either. Any other calls to that? No, that's it. What happens if they spawn inside of an item display? Would everything work? Like, what if we set this to 1,000? This is probably gonna look ridiculous. It'll probably lag as well. Let's try it. Oh yeah. Did they like immediately buy all the items? I can't even tell where I am. It's like a prop hunt where I am the prop. Where am I? There I am. They do buy them pretty quickly, yeah. I legitimately can't find myself in here sometimes. I guess you're most obvious when you're looking upward because you're the one with pink hair. No, well, that color pink at least. There's one other person with pink hair. 1,000 customers. Where's Adam? Yeah, I gotta have the Adam customer at some point. We say save it off. Is that a synonym for cache it? In this case, yeah. At least I think so with the item IDs. So I think we're looking good now. Let's go check this in. Add a cheat. Loot boxes cheat. It creates customers if needed. Customers, items, and chests if needed. Yeah, that's it. All right, done with that. So now price setting. Activate the dialog when interacting with the item display that the item is on. Okay, so we're gonna write this out. Just gonna kind of proceed in this fashion. In the loot boxes game, interacting with an item display that has an item should activate the price setting dialog. This dialog should use the same general theme as the treasure dialog, whose name I don't recall. Loot boxes dialog box. Yeah. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. All right, the layout of the dialogue should be something like this. So we have set a price for this item. Or maybe I'll say price label, price setting, accept button, cancel button. Price label is the literal string. Set a price for this item. Or maybe this item type. Yeah, I think it'll be obvious as you go to different ones. Lost my touch on arriving first. It's a once in a lifetime thing. The planets had to align. Hey, Jess. Happy 15 streams. Hope you've been enjoying them. So, price setting is a set of 4 digits. Is a set of 4 controls. Each 4 custom numerical controls. Each control displays a single digit and can be focused. When focused, pressing up, it's not actually up, it is UI up. Pressing UI up will increase the digit, wrapping from 9 to 0. And pressing UI down will do the opposite. Okay, accept button is a button whose text is set price. It will emit a signal with the item type or the item ID and selected price. And cancel button is a button with whose text is cancel. It will close the dialog without changing the price. Upon I guess like the probably loot boxes should listen for it. Listen for this signal and store the price that you've set. And then, hey Scholar, good morning. In a dictionary, item ID int. All right, what else? While this dialogue is open, the player should be unable to move or interact with things in the world, just like when dialog box is open. And while this dialog is open, customers cannot purchase the item on the associated display. I'm trying to make a 4-digit number. It was just minus and plus. Each digit makes it easier. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bad UI battles subreddit that has a lot of those sorts of things. Like imagine a slider. You have something like this. And there's a track going to the rest of this thing. I guess it looks like that. And you have to drag this from start to finish to pick a phone number. So it goes from like 111 all the way up to 999 And that's just another, it's a silly thing. It's part of the inspiration of this game actually was like, how do we subvert your expectations for how a game should work to make a different game that is still somehow fun? So this is not trying to make a game that's fun necessarily. It's just trying to make fun of a UI idea. But if you did have to pick a phone number and you had to use this UI, it'd be horrendous. And possibly it wouldn't even be possible because you only have so many pixels of precision. So you can't pick however many unique numbers you need to be able to pick. All right, is there anything else we're missing here? I mean, once it comes to using the dictionary, we'll do that separately, I think. Yeah, I think this is probably good for now. Oh yeah, populate. The digits of price setting should be populated based on the prior price set saved in the dictionary. If no price is there, treat the price as 1. 3 streams, and hey, ABC. Going through a tough time over here. Feel as if my confidence is taking a dip from overly relying on AI. Almost feels like I've stunted my growth as a dev by just throwing everything at the agents. Maybe it's just burnout. I don't know. Yeah, I think this is a little bit difficult, and I want to talk about this in just a sec, but I want to kick off this prompt first. So I will just store your message for now, but I will talk about that. Give me 1 sec. All right, layout should be something like this. Price label, price setting, accept button, cancel button. 4 digits, accept will accept, stored in a dictionary, cancel will cancel. Whilst dialog is open, players should be unable to move or interact. Customers cannot purchase the item. And digits of price setting should be populated based on the prior price. Okay, yeah, good. So cool. So let's kick that off. Oh, I probably should have had it planned that. Oh well, whatever. I guess it's just gonna do it now. You're chatting about it later as well. Being self-aware is both good and bad sometimes, it seems. Yeah, so I think this is a particularly tricky problem because my personal usage of AI has changed between Skeleseller and Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. For Skeleseller, it was just smart autocomplete. And now you can see I'm using it like using agents much more. And part of how I look at this is it's like kind of the same general level of quality, at least I think, much faster to use, less taxing on my own brain. So yeah, my conclusions, at least with respect to this conversation, is like I want to use it, and I don't want to lose my skills, but I just don't see them mattering as much. Like the development skills, I need to be able to review code and be able to point out like where something might be wrong. But for example, let's say I couldn't edit code as easily. You know, like if I had this function and I'm like, all right, we need to move some lines around, like this if statement should be up here, and I do this, and I press enter, and I delete this thing, and I whatever, copy paste the whole thing into a new tab or something. Like those are the mechanical skills that you need to edit code. You technically only need arrow keys, backspace, and typing, and you can make any code from that. But like no one codes that way, right? You copy paste when you need to, you move things around, you navigate to different functions. You probably don't just use the arrow keys over and over and over. So I could lose those skills though if AI were in the picture, because they just don't really matter that much, right? And I could see someone starting anew and not learning them to begin with because they're like, why would I? If I need to rearrange an if statement in here, I'll just tell AI to do it or something. And if AI were fast enough in that case, you probably could, and it's probably reasonable to do that. Like in this case, yeah, sure, it's just, you know, move this here. Okay, fine, that took me like 1 second. But for anything more difficult, like, oh, instantiating scene should go through a cache, go make the cache. Or this should be refactored into a common location. Like, yeah, is it worth going and making a new file and typing out, you know, public class, whatever, and then referencing it from the new thing with a using? And like a lot of this stuff is already being handled by your IDE. So I see this as an extension of that. Now, that said, the original kind of context of your messages feel like your confidence is taking a dip. I think the reality of most situations is our jobs are changing, and yeah, it's hard to know where things will settle. So in the future where writing code as a human is actively bad, it's not really worth learning at this point. But we don't know that we're in that future or headed for that future. But in the future where AI is outlawed, then like it's terrible for you to be using it right now. Like you shouldn't lean on it now. So if you could know this, then yeah, you'd be able to prepare for it. I mean, I don't think AI will be outlawed. I don't even think you can do that. There are already local models out there. So if you have them on your machine, there's no way for them to detect that they're on there. Yeah. Maybe a bit of a mentality thing too. Don't just use what it gives you, but process it in your own head first. Yeah, that's another thing that I really like doing in general. Like writing out these specs is kind of interesting. So in my mind, the production of the UI from the spec is not that crazy. Like I can make a control node here and I can be like, okay, we want a VBox container, which is going to actually be 2 HBox containers, or like a label and an HBox container. And this label would say set the price. And the HBox container would have the 4 digits in it. So I make these digit things, and they're probably labels that you can focus, or buttons maybe. And yeah, you have the digits, and then you have the buttons that you want afterward. It's like, okay, I can make this. Should I make this? Like, is this worth my time? It's so much easier to just say, hey, here's a description of it. I almost look at this like the evolution of the ultimate declarative configuration. With Kubernetes, for example, or with Terraform, you say, here's the result that I want. You figure out how to get there. So for people who don't know about this, who haven't used this infrastructure stuff, it might be something as simple as like, I want 3 VMs and I want a database. And what these systems do, so here's your config. What these systems do is they go list out like, well, okay, how many VMs do you have already? And maybe the answer is 2. So then it's like, okay, we'll make one more. Well, what does it take to make one more? The system knows how to do that. You didn't tell it how to do that. You just said, I want 3. And maybe you told it what the names are. Maybe you told it what the sizes are. Maybe you told it what program should be running on it. But you didn't tell it how to go set this up, or like if it's a Linux machine, do this. And in essence, that's kind of what prompting an AI is. You're telling it, here's how the system should work. And you're not necessarily telling it like, well, you're definitely not telling it like, oh, go open a file and put this code in, and then go close that file and make sure it's saved. And like, it knows how to do that. Psychological impact of quickly generated code versus feeling inadequate because it would take you time and effort, but the agent just makes it good enough. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's another thing too. And I don't know how much this rattles other people, but for like the longest time on the internet, I feel like people were saying, here's an innately human thing to do. And here's why machines can't ever do that thing. And the goalposts moved from, okay, well, there's nothing a computer can do, to, okay, well, now what can't a computer do? And people used to say things like, well, it'll never make music, or it'll never make art, or it'll never make whatever stories or something, or tell jokes. It's like it can still synthesize a lot of these things. It might not do it as well as a human would, but I think that's not really the point of any of this. The point that I'm trying to share is I think people thought that there were these boundaries that didn't really exist. And yeah, it's I think that can be scary for like, well, what does it mean for us then? And what does it mean if you're making something for the sake of art and everyone else has commoditized it? And that's what I think game dev has become to some extent. But it becomes overwhelming quickly in my brain if I let AI also do specs, because then the project feels like it's spinning out of control. Yeah, the other thing too is I think it makes you think, specs make you think what you want out of something first, because there are always going to be some problems you haven't considered. Something like, okay, yeah, while the dialogue is open, customer buys the item, but then what does that mean you're doing? And it's like, yeah, this is kind of a weird state, so we should account for that. That's what the spec helps with. It's like doing code reviews. If I can't even be confident in reading code that the agent writes, how will I ever be confident in reading code the rest of the team writes? Even new issues, I go right to the agents to create an implementation plan. Yeah, I see what you mean. And yeah, I think this can be a bit difficult because I guess my personal path was I did software by hand for so long that I have the skills to review, to create. So now using AI, it's like, okay, well, it's just an extension of those skills. But yeah, I think if I were in the world where, well, I could lean on AI, but then I don't know if it's writing good code, I think it'd be tough. And I think getting the motivation to learn those skills, knowing that, well, I'm doing my job anyway, I think that'd be difficult too. And I think what might help is, and I know you're already busy and like you said, you might be burned out, but if you had a side project where you're doing things without AI so that you can learn and stay sharp. And to some extent, I think just kind of in a greater life context here, there's the whole, if you don't use it, you lose it. And this goes for your brain. Like we need to stay sharp. We need to exercise still. So yeah, this might be helpful just from that perspective. Started pushing images, hey Zorb, to Claude to generate UI and HUD layout. In Bevy Engine, it's very tedious to do so. I paint the whole thing, and after a few minutes, I get a whole working layout. It's not worth my time to fiddle around with paddings. Yeah, that's generally how I see things too. And especially like we want to see, is this game fun? Is it going to work? Goal instead would be to make good game. Who knows if coding skills will stay or not? The desire to play and have fun is here to stay. Let's focus on that. No. I don't think we're wasting time discussing AI. Plus, I mean, the other thing too is like I don't want to burn myself out just coding nonstop. I've had a busy couple of weeks and I was waiting for this, and now this is done. But yeah, in terms of games, like I said, I think there's some future where people don't make games, AI does, and not to the level people might be thinking about, but it's more along the lines of like, oh, I like that GTA series. Go make another one where I'm the main character, or where I'm the villain, or where there's a redemption arc that goes through the things that are going on in my life right now. And it's like, yeah, people might like playing those games more than they like playing one that was handcrafted by somebody, but that doesn't follow you specifically and your friends. Hey, Crispy. You keep pushing it and using it, yeah. Okay, implemented item displays now open a loot boxes themed price setting modal when they hold a purchasable item. Modal has 4 focused digit controls: set price, cancel, locks player control open. Price is stored in loot boxes, defaults to 1. Okay, let's go try this out and just see what it did. All right, so we go get a treasure chest, and now there are items here. We open this. Wow. It added sound effects. Yeah, this is pretty great. I mean, the sound effects crack me up. They're like wind chimes. We definitely want to tone those down. So if I cancel this and go back in, yeah, 6640. Set it to 6641. Yeah, nice. Wow, awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. And I guess I want to be able to close this. Oh, it already works that way. Yeah, neat. Come up with solutions myself and have agents review my code. Yeah, I think that would help too. And that at least gives you a feedback loop. I think so much of what you try learning needs a feedback loop. Like imagine if you just picked up violin and you were this is so contrived, I'm sorry, but if you were deaf, like how would you know you're playing it well? You you would have to have some music knowledge already, or have something in your muscle memory of how you're playing. Uh and anyway, if someone were there telling you like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good. This does sound good," you could start to steer yourself toward what is correct. So I think it's the same thing with this. All right, it'd be kind of nice to have a picture of the item here. Oh, and also that needs to be set to, I might have messed this up over here too. This needs to have, well, the panel container needs a nearest filter on the border. Nope, I set that in the wrong spot. I want it here. Nearest. And then the VBox container should have linear set. Then the portrait itself has nearest. Yep, good. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go to the price setting dialog. Why does this not have a preview? I don't understand. This one does, this one doesn't. Strange. Let's go to the panel container for this. This also needs to be modified. Texture nearest. And then set this to texture linear. Oh wait, I now have this over here that I can, I didn't realize you could do this. You could just type status and it'll tell you what your quotas are at all the time here. It's kind of neat. Yeah, imposter syndrome is a pretty core part to any deep enough field. All right, so pressing UI accept should act the same as having pressed the, what is it? Accept price? Set price, yeah. On the digits. And what else? Between where do we want to put the item picture? It could go over here. I think that would be pretty good because we have some space. Or what if we put it spanning both of these? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. To the left of the digits, add a texture rect whose texture is the same as the item. On the display that you interacted with. Yeah. 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 Just to what you said, sometimes the AI does things where it's like, I know these features exist, but they're not at the top of my mind when I'm using them. Like, I don't think I coded any part of Skeleteller using ref. And I knew about this at one point. I just forgot about it. And like sometimes this is a cleaner pattern than passing in a value and then getting a new return value. And probably what I ended up doing as a result of this is, well, no, I definitely use ref actually. Sorry. I know that I use that. I don't think I use it in all the cases I could have. But yeah, I probably ended up returning tuples in some cases, and it's just slightly more tedious and less clear from a programming perspective. All right, so I do want it to do this, and yet I also want to review the code. I just, yeah, I guess let's just do that. Is it like C pointers? Yeah, yeah. All right, let's look through some of this code. Oh, I got to take a break pretty soon. Price setting requested. What is this? This opens a price dialog here. Yeah, that's fine. Is setting price. So what is this used for? Yep, sounds good. Cool. All right, this is looking pretty good. Yeah, this is all smooth. Try get purchasable item. This is great. Yeah. And finish price setting, where's that called from? This is called, it must be some other file if it's public. Yeah. This is the kind of thing I don't like how it does this. Oh, well, never mind. This is slightly different. Method configure has 3 arguments. That can't be true. What? Why did this build? Oh, because it's modifying code right now. Yeah, my bad. Okay. Yeah, I can't fully review this then, but we can kind of get close. Default item price, pricing dialog scene path looks good. Looks good. Yep. Register item display. Why? Sale value. This is also not correct. No, this is correct. We just need to know if it's close to the value. So we got to start taking that into consideration. All right, that looks good. Item texture. Yeah, so this is code it's still modifying right now. But all in all, this did a pretty good job. So digits are price digit controls, which are buttons. They don't really have to be buttons because pressing them doesn't do anything, but they do need to have focus. So yeah, I think this is fine for now. We need to get other sounds, by the way. I didn't write this down. Add sounds for everything. We're the ones kind of blazing the trail for how to use it properly. Yeah. Yeah, also I know some people hate the word influencer, but like this is something I was thinking about myself the other day is I am streaming myself using AI. I think that is probably affecting other people's behaviors. That's the literal definition of influencer is influencing people. And I thought I wonder how AI will just shake out. Like what does it mean to be showing this? And I kind of take for granted maybe, okay, like I said, I have some of the skills of reviewing code and of writing code, and maybe someone sees this and they're just like, that guy is just doing whatever he wants. I should also just do whatever I want. I don't know. Like give people insight on how to use it. Yeah. There's positive with whatever negative comes out of it too. All right. Anything else here that I wanted to look at? Oh, that's pretty good. Get price equals price times 10 plus digit dot digit. And hopefully this is something we only use once. I think it should be fine. Yeah, get price. Yep. Yeah, awesome. This is great. This is great. So now this is done. Does it work? So we should just have a picture of the item. So let's try to see if I click this. This is the green vase. Yeah, nice. Very cool. So I'm gonna set this to 11 and then press A on it again. Yeah, nice. I think it should also maybe remember where you, like maybe it should select the first non-zero digit. Yeah, I think that would make the most sense. Also, what would you expect to have happen when you press up here? Should it change this to 1 and this to 0? I don't think so. I think it should just change this 1 to 9. Yeah. Yeah, but I do think it should select the first non-zero digit. And you can't set it to 0, right? I guess you could. Then you're giving away your items for free. Yeah. So I'll just have it do that last thing. Or let me just write the prompt at least for it, because I want to check this in. So allow price setting prompt when opening the price setting dialog, put the focus on the last non-zero digit. If all digits are 0, pick the last digit. For example, if the price is 0024, select the, oh no, not last non-zero digit, first non-zero digit. Select the 2. If the price is 0000, select the fourth digit. I don't know why you'd set it to 0. Maybe we should just prevent you from doing that. Maybe you can only set it to 1. Yeah, we should just do that. When saving a price, or when setting a price, disallow 0. 1 should be the lowest possible price. Yeah, there. All right, but where I left off is I need to review the code. But yeah, that was exactly what we just did, right? We needed to do the price setting stuff, and that was what, 5 minutes of prompting followed by 15 minutes of the AI doing something, and now we have this dialogue. And it just blows my mind because this is what I would have done. We could make this look like a portrait. Like just like how we come up and talk to this, and there's a portrait up here, we could have a picture of the item and then set a price for this item. I kind of like that idea. I'll write that down. But then, yeah, I got to take a break. Consider putting the item texture into a portrait like we do for the treasure spirit. All right, let's kick off the break. I'll be back in just a little bit. Is it jump time? Hey, Cruddlefish. It's jump time. Hello again. Close the game. Hello, Wix. Yeah, good timing, Cuddlefish. For the focus digit, what do you think about adding a small up or down arrow so it's extra clear they can be increased or decreased? Yeah, that's what I had originally planned. I just didn't want to make the AI do that because I didn't think it would do a very good job. I'm also not totally sure how it would look. We need... Well, I guess we could just add in little triangles above or below using the draw function, maybe. Maybe we do that. Maybe we at least try it out. But I'll write it in polish. Why is this all tabbed in? Okay. Price setting dialog. Consider putting the item texture into a portrait like we do for the treasure spirit. And consider using draw to draw little arrows above and below the button to make it clear that you press up/down to modify the price. I think it'll be obvious, just to be clear, like there aren't that many things you can do here, and it's clearly a digit input. So yeah, I think it'll be obvious. The other thing we could have used, there is a, what do they call it? A spinner, I think. They don't call it a spinner. Some things call it a spinner. Spin box. Yeah, where is this thing? Here. So this, we could have done this. This makes it very clear that it's a number input, but this makes it look like you use the mouse and keyboard. Yeah, maybe we just do that instead. Just use the spin box. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Alternatively, could use a spin box. May want to animate the color of those arrows changing. Clear when you used it correctly. Ask the AI for UI recommendations. Yeah, I like what we got so far. So let's review it. Let's check it in. So is setting price, try begin price setting. Interesting that we would do this to even set this back to null. Because what do we care? Yeah. I guess because it's an out texture. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I looked through this already. Not much change there. A lot should have changed here, though. Let's go look through this. It's fine. This is fine. We looked through that already. This is fine. Yep. Showboat, thanks for the resub. Happy 5 months. Some games for controllers have you highlight a specific one of the numbers, and part of the highlight includes the up-down arrows. I don't think I totally know what you mean, but I think what I was envisioning is probably similar to that. With that said, I think if we do nothing extra here, I think it's still going to be pretty obvious. Like, I think players will know how to control this. Although even if they don't, there's no real problem because they don't need to play this game. But yeah, so once we get some items over here. Yeah, so if you knew nothing else, if you see set a price for this item, you might be like, how am I supposed to use this? You try the, 3 buttons on your controller and then eventually try up and down. Yeah, I think people would figure it out. The N. You change from VS Code to JetBrains. Why? Yeah, I've got the Y rider command. Check that out. Ordered a new watch. Supposed to be delivered today. Don't think it's going to. My heart doesn't want to give up hope. People on my road are being very selfish coming home from work and sounding like delivery vehicles. They are, yeah. They put those vehicle disguise modules on. And now they've got really refined settings. You can set it to like watch delivery vehicle, which adds, a couple of ounces of weight. Okay, this looks good. When we dismiss this, do we remove this from the scene? The dismissing happens from dialogue. Dialogue dismisses itself. Yeah. And then frees itself. Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's good. What else changed in here? Is valid. I don't want that to exist. It's not null and it's valid. I can just check if it's null, right? Oh, yeah, we null it out there. And we null this one out too. Open dialogue? What is open dialogue? Loot boxes dialogue box. This is the treasure chest dialogue. We should rename that. Yeah, I'll rename this here. Open treasure chest. Or maybe we just call this like the buy treasure chest dialogue. And this will be price setting dialogue. Yeah, I think it's better. All right, looks good. So here, I think we just delete this and we just check. This is not null, or this is not null. Then delete this. Do we use it anywhere else? No. All right, now what's this? Dictionary lookups can be simplified with get value or default. Oh, nice. It does that for you. Awesome. All right, yeah, that's looking nice. What else do we have here? So brand new file here. Let's look through this. We set a max price somewhere else too. Yeah, we use this somewhere else. Where is it? Max item price. Here it is. All item data. Yeah, and min price is set to 0. That should not be possible. So item data public. And delete these. And then go change this. Item data dot min price item data dot max. Technically, the value could be different from the price, which I don't care about. We're not going to get that in depth, but yeah, could be. All right, I already looked through that. And then we just have the scene. And I think everything looked fine there, right? Price setting dialogue. We now have the item texture. Oh, it's added on the fly. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. So instead of, where do we do this? Price setting dialogue. Texture rectangle. Wait, no, it is there. I didn't see it. Oh, it's that. Okay. I clicked over here. But if I had clicked this blank space, I would have seen it. Okay, that's fine. All right, no need for an extra change. Let's go check it in. Add price setting dialog. Okay. So now we need these changes. Let's go do that. Oh, this is already done. I made that change myself. Right. So all we're going to do is change how we focus this, which should be very simple. So if you try setting the price to 0 and hit set, it should go to 1. Yeah. And let's just confirm that. So it's set to 31. I set it to 0. It's 1. Yeah. Yeah. Very neat. All right, so that's done. So when opening the price setting dialog, put the focus on the first non-zero digit. For example, the price is 0024, select the 2. Done. This stuff is all finished. Each item knows its target value. Done. Show the currently set price above the item at all times. Yeah, so this I was not certain about. We can make it fit. Is this what I want? Artistic text, frame text? I guess frame text. So like 1000. We need to outline this and we need to make this bigger. Yeah, so like that would fit. But you'd see this over every item. And I think it looked kind of bad. So problem, we need players to be able to know the prices of items. Option 1, never show them, or like only show them when opening the price setting dialog. Option 2, only show them when the player is nearby. Option 2B, only show them when the player is closest to that particular item. Option 3, always show them regardless of player distance. I think 2 or 2B would work best. The thing I'm a little bit concerned about is you wouldn't necessarily know that you've set the price of an item before. Did this finish? Yeah. Tooltip pop up. Hey, Patrick. Well, tooltip on what? Getting close or being the closest to that one in particular? So if we do this. So yeah, imagine that you'd already set the price on the purple book, but you forgot. You just remember setting it on one of the books. So this is set to like, yeah, 4,041. And now you walk away from it. You wouldn't know that you'd set the price on that already. So when you open a chest and another one of those books pops out, which I can't guarantee. Yeah, so let's say this was a book. You'd be like, oh, did I set the price on that? So I think we need to show them. I don't know. Or maybe it's just if you haven't set a price, then we show an exclamation mark or something. Hey, TJ. Yeah, I mean, option 4 is never show. But I guess that's what we have right now. This is the case we're in right now. Oh, also, customers, I forgot to do this. Make sure customers consider the price of the item right before buying. I don't want this flow to happen. You set price to 1. Customer walks to item to buy since 1 is a good price. You change the price before they make it there. Customer should not buy that item. It'd be like a little menu that updates, almost like a leaderboard. Yeah, except there will be a lot of items. Like imagine if in Skeleseller, for example. Where's the picture? Yeah. Imagine like you have that many items. There could potentially be a lot in that leaderboard thing. Have a little sparkle represents a new item. Once they change the price, that type of item doesn't have a sparkle. Yeah, I guess that could work too. Although at no point do you know that the price you set is a good price. So you might, for example, see a crown drop and you set the price to, I don't know, like 5,000. So now the sparkle would go away. But like no customer wants to pay that much. Maybe we show uh we could show the price in a color like red if it hasn't been purchased in a while. So like you could just tell that it hasn't been purchased in a while if you're looking and paying attention, but otherwise you could see the color of the item price. I think just showing the prices maybe once you get close would be decent. Let's see what it's like if we just show them all the time. Add a label. Let's just do this in a new thing. Well, let me check in what I've done already. Yeah, super easy. Super easy. Focus first non-zero digit. I didn't even test that, did I? I thought I did. I don't think I actually did. Yeah, let's get some items here. So if I open this dialog on a new item, it's set to the 1. If I set it to this, now it's set to that one. If I have it on that, yep. And if I have it on that one, perfect. And if they were all 0, that's actually impossible. But yeah, nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cool. Yeah, I could separate the tables. That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, had a lot of related experience and examples. Had the opportunity to saw myself with related skills and knowledge. Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. That's fantastic. And now you have just that much more interviewing experience too. All right, what are we doing for this then? I'll just try having them show at all times. So add a label above. It could be the item itself, but it almost certainly shouldn't be. It should be the item display. Add a label positioned. Well, how about this? Just add a label to item display. Oops. Oh my God. I hate when I do that. It didn't actually make any changes right now. It didn't. All right. How about this? Let's just go add the label myself. And we'll call this, I don't know, price. This texture should be linear. And then we got to anchor it correctly. I always forget how you do this. I think we need to control under here first. And then this is positioned at 0, 0. And this is anchored to the bottom of that. Yeah, that works. All right, so price label. And we got to give this an outline, right? Color, outline, constants, outline. There, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's try that and just see what it looks like. So new thing. I added a label to item display.tscn. Make sure that gets set with the player. Where's the dictionary of item IDs? I'll just go look at that. Here. With the value from item prices. Anytime the player sets a new price, all item displays holding that particular item should be updated. Yeah. So this is necessary no matter what we do. And then how we show the labels could potentially change. Taking Adam notes before the interview health. Glad to hear it. Yeah. And we should probably cut out those interacted with treasure stand things. I'll write that over here. Get rid of the gd.print calls that I added all over the place for interacting. All right, so yeah, once we get this part working, Then we just need the upgrade dialogue. And this is going to resemble what we had in Skeleseller, I suppose. And man, if AI can do that, that'd be great. Because I definitely don't want to do that. Now, unlike in Skeleseller, I don't think we'll have tabs for that. I think we'll just throw a bunch of different icons into a flow container and let you navigate between them, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Which is handy. Missing pieces, script side. Yeah. Hey, Magnetic Bind. Oh, hey, I said I'd play the music for you. Let me go load this up. We finished this track yesterday, or like mostly finished it. I might do a little bit more. Oops. Now, I am having a problem here, though. If I try loading top-down shooter main theme, it doesn't load the synths for some reason. Did it work? No, yeah, it didn't work. There's nothing playing right now, is there? Yeah, I don't know what's causing this, and this is really freaking me out because I almost lost all of my entire track because of this. But I saved it in one other spot over here, and this one works. So they're the exact same project. But yeah, this one loads up all the different synths. Anyway, here's a track. I'll play it. Let me mute my mic. Anyway, I'm not gonna let the whole thing play out, but yeah, I like this. I think it's pretty fitting for the game. It reminds me of a couple other games now that I hear it. One of them is one of the Paper Marios. I don't remember which one. Maybe Origami King, and I don't remember which track. Just I have some connection in my head to like this reminds me of Paper Mario somehow. And there's some other game. Oh, maybe it was a Thousand Year Door. It does have the kind of a Thousand Year Door sound. More atmospheric than I thought it'd be. Yeah, it's a little, it's almost a little bit too intense, and I had to tone down some sounds. But yeah, it loops at the end, and yeah, I like it. I think it's very fitting. I was gonna play it in the context of the game, but I can't actually load the game right now because it's probably not in any state where it'll build. Oh no, it will build. Yeah, so for some context here, let's go into the top-down shooter, and I'll play a bit of it. Let's just start from where we left off here. Yeah, it kind of fits with having monsters around. Movement speed. Gun is so close to shooting on the same BPM. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Feeling good. It's also nice to have made some different music for this game already. We have, what, 3 tracks I composed custom for this so far. And then we'll have 3 tracks that I did not compose custom for it, which is going to be this particular game, the loot boxes one, and the title screen. And if any of it doesn't, oh no, 4 tracks for custom for this one because I made the architect's realm too. So yeah, we're chugging right along. All right, so let's go try this out. So what did I do? I don't recall. Oh yeah, the prices. Yeah, so if you have prices here. Yeah, so this is what this looks like now. If you change the price of something, it updates it here. So we got to change a few things, of course. One is that this should be centered. 2 is that it should have enough space so that it can fit. So custom minimum size is just set to like 300 or something. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be that big. Actually, wait, the size doesn't even matter, does it? No, it doesn't matter. If it's going to grow from the center, yeah, it doesn't matter. How's your Friday, Monetic Bind? All right, good. So that's a little bit better. Now I want to position these differently. Let's move this up a bit. Or maybe lower? Does it look better above or below? Below's kind of neat because then it's covering the item display, which is not super important. We could also shrink the font size a little bit. Yeah, we could try that. See how that looks in the game. I don't think it's clear that it's a price. So if I change this, yeah, it changes it for both of them at once. Yeah, so then what if we only have this showing when you're close enough to it? Would that be good? Oh, those should only show up once the item has landed. I gotta write that down. Only show the price label after the item has hit the item display. Not while it's flying there. Going as okay as it can go. Having a medical procedure in the PM, so I'm prepping for that. Hope it goes well. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you get some rest over the weekend. Wait a second. Okay. Yeah, so we're actually earning money from this then, huh? I don't remember how much we start with, but if I open this up and I set the price to 1,000 or I guess 2,000 or something, as soon as a customer goes and buys that, I will be able to afford this. So if I just keep mashing the button here, we'll eventually be able to buy it. Let's speed it up. Okay. Yeah. Wow, cool. It's coming together. Yeah, I think I want this to be proximity based. Like the price for the item only shows up when you're near it. But I don't think anything's going to make it clear that this is the price, is it? It's just a number floating in the air. I mean, you'll know as soon as you interact with this. You have a spinning gold coin. Oh, yeah, that would work. Thank you. Oh, man. All right, yeah. So, show a spinning coin icon. Animated coin icon. Okay. Yeah, so let's make a couple of changes to this. So, only show the price, or only have the price label be visible once the item on the item display, not while it's flying there from a treasure chest. and then add animated coin icon to the price widget. Actually, I should just add it, right? Because it might mess this up. And all I have to do is that. Done. Well, not actually quite done. HBox container. And, whoop, come on. There we go. And then we vertically center this. And then have this thing get anchored to the bottom of that. I think that'll work. And then just lower the separation here. That doesn't center this anymore. Oh, but then we can just offset it with the position over here, right? Offset transform. What does that do? Position. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So then do I want the proximity thing? Let's try this out just with what I've done so far. I don't have the proximity thing. I just want to see, is it more apparent that these are prices now? Should they go somewhere else? I don't have their visibility being set correctly. And the centering doesn't work correctly either. But yes, it's definitely more obvious that that's for setting prices now. That animated coin takes up a lot of space though. And it's a little bit distracting. So maybe the proximity thing on top of this. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I want to take a picture. We could try shrinking the coin. It'll probably look bad. I didn't even launch through here, so I can't test it. Yeah, all right. So animated coin, transform, scale. Oh, right, you can't change it. I gotta change it on here. Scale 0.5. Does it still look okay? It does, but how? Yeah, a static coin would maybe be best. It's a good idea. How does that look okay? What? Shouldn't it look chopped off or something? Sprites, UI, lootbox, coin. Yeah, there are no doubled pixels here. Strange. Strange. All right, well, instead of the animate coin icon then, let's just go put this in here. So add a texture rectangle. And it's an atlas texture. And it is the coin texture. And it's 16 by 14, I want to say. And then we need to say keep something. Bit width, sure, whatever. So delete that. Then set the transform. I guess still just do that on the parent. Does it not scale this? I can't just say keep. Oh. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, here we go. Keep aspect. There. Keep centered. Ah, perfect. Well. All right, so the other problem we have is as we change digits here, this is not causing this entire thing to grow. I don't know how we control that. Label padding and margin. What I need to have happen is that the HBox container is not so big. I don't know what's controlling the size of this. Doesn't have a maximum size. as a position. I guess it's the anchor that's happening. Oh no, it does have a transform. It does have a size set. Oh, just delete that. In fact, delete all this too. 0 or 1. And then set the size of this to match. And then anchor this. This is not centered. Now it is. So now as we expand the label here, I don't know if that's centered. I don't think that's centered. I think the problem is we don't actually want it to be centered. So this is going to be half the size of them. We can set the custom maximum size here to 8 by 7. It doesn't think it's in the right spot now. And it doesn't get centered. I guess we could just set the width to be 8. All right, that might be more like what I want. Yeah, that's decent, right? That's decent. So now as this expands, yeah, I think that's good. I think it is. Maybe even lower that a little bit more. And then change the size. And then re-anchor it. And then change the position a little bit. Do we want this below it? I don't even remember. Let's take a look at that in the game. I gotta set the price on something. I think above would look better. Text margin and the size of the sprite on that side, then make it a child and anchor it on the padding side. Text controls the size and stay centered. Oh, I see. I think I could do something like that. As far as the positioning goes, though, let's try that out. Why is this? Took a really long time. All right, so just position the whole thing up. So centering aside, I think positioning the prices above the items are that's probably a good spot. And then I think we try the proximity thing. I don't know if that's a good idea. Like the labels just kind of fade out if you're not near them. I mean, we could test it. I could just go into the scene and make some of these semi-transparent. Yeah, I'll try a few things. I added a coin icon and an HBox container alongside the label. The entire container should only be visible once an item is on the item display, not while it's flying there. Is Skeleseller in this game now? Kind of. So this is the loot boxes game, and this is the closest one to Skeleseller that we'll see. And it's pretty neat. I'll show that in just a sec. So price controls. Yeah, and then these price controls should fade out if the player isn't close to that item display. Should have an opacity set based on the player's distance. When the player is less than 200 pixels away, it's at full opacity. As the player approaches 500 pixels away, it fades, the opacity lowers. At 500 pixels away, the price is not visible at all. The price controls are not visible at all. Yeah. Yeah, so let me show the game that we have right now that we're working on. We don't have much to it, and I don't know when you popped in Mysterious. I don't know what you saw already. But there's the treasure spirit from Skeleseller. There's a tile set. There are these treasure stands and everything. So you can go to the treasure spirit and buy a treasure chest. So we buy a silver one, a wooden one, and then you can open these, and items will pop out. And you can go over here and change the price. And right now, customers will just pay whatever price you set. So you could actually set this to $9,999, and it's fine. You'll get the money. And yeah, customers will come by and buy stuff, and we can add more customers too. So it's pretty neat to see this coming together. Yeah. For those who didn't hear what the overall purpose of this game is, this is a game to see how many loot boxes will you open if there's no purpose. Like, you're gonna... Funny to me still. You're gonna get upgrades and everything so that you can get more money, so you can get more loot, so you can whatever, just keep getting customers to buy your stuff. But you can just walk off the screen and there will be a portal down here and you can enter it and you're done. You can just ignore the entire game. So yeah, I'm curious, will people like max this out and then be like, all right, now what do I do? Like, what was all this money for? But there was no point to it. I don't know if players will find that funny, but I will. I think as long as it feels like a game and you had fun, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. All right, so we got to work on the design for the upgrade dialogue while we're waiting for this. Especially if some upgrades have no limit time when you can buy. I don't think we need to have something with no limit. Oh, we need the perk board too. Add the perk board to the game. Have it be interactable. Where is the perk board? Is it in the marketplace graphic? Is there a way to see this? No, yeah, it is. Nice. Yeah, so what is the region of that thing? Perk board. It's not a thing. What did we call it? Perk. Apparently none of these. Enchanterden.tscn. Maybe it's in there somewhere. Perk. Seriously? Come on. Bulletin? Bulletin board. I called it bulletin board? Okay, well, that's something. Yeah, so I want to see where the sprite came from here. Texture, script, position. This is the position of the, I want to find out where I want to find out where this came from in the atlas. Texture is here. Ah, here it is. Region. Okay. There we go. Let's take a look at this. Starts hidden. Okay, great. Yeah, let's go try this out. If you like this, try this game. Try this totally different game. I don't plan on directly saying anything about Skeletor. All right, so now when that flies in, nice. And then the farther away you get, okay, apparently 500 pixels is a lot. Am I really only 500 away when I get to like there? Oh, come on. No, 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 don't buy stuff. How many pixels is this? Man. It's about 700, it says, or 700 points at least. So it's, I guess, 350 pixels. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Why it's starting to fade out there. Yeah. Well, world and screen space are the same in this case. Well, other than the high DPI thing going on Mac. So I'll just need to change this a little bit. All right, let's go take a look at that. So full price controls opacity distance. And it starts to fade out at some point. Let's go put some items over here. I want it to be more like a spotlight effect. So maybe hidden at like 300, full at 200, 150, 100. Return the distance minus the current distance divided by distance minus the opacity distance. Isn't this a weird way of doing things? We just take our distance and divide by hidden the full distance, right? No, I guess it's the difference between those two. Here's what I think I would have written here. I think I would have written distance minus the full one divided by distance minus the hidden one. So if you're at 500, this is going to be 350 and 200. Oh, no, I see. Okay. Mm. Yeah, let me look at these values again. 300 here. Yeah, I want to change this. I think I want to change this. Oh, yeah, you're right, man. I find. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely right. I'm being very dense. I'm still thinking of Skeletor days where it was a 1-to-1 ratio. Because as you expanded the game, it did not expand the size of the sprites here, but it does. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, it's world coordinates then. Hey, Puelo. When you exit the portal on NPC, depending on how long you spend in the subgame, you could ask what took you so long. We didn't spend all your coins in there. Well, you would have earned a lot of coins in here. So that wouldn't scare the player, I think. It does totally fade out after some time. I think I just want to change what these amounts are. Where did those amounts go? Yeah, I don't know what's gonna feel the best. So let's try like 100, 175. I don't think I want this to be too much more than the first number. Wait, what's going on here? I need customers to not exist. Let's turn off their behavior to buy items. Purchase item, money amount. There should be an event in here or something. Huh. That's strange. There's nothing that gets invoked from here. I guess we access something directly on loot boxes. Yeah, try find purchase, try complete customer purchase. Complete shopping target, just return. I don't want them doing any of this. I want a pixel peep. All right, let's take a look. So the coin is being controlled at the same opacity as the label, but because the coin is a giant yellow circle, it looks like it's being faded in differently from the text. Maybe fading it out is stupid. Yeah, maybe it should just be either 1 or 0. I don't know. What do people think as you look at this? Like, so now we're on the left side and we can see the 4 left prices. As we move to the right, you see it start fading in. And that way it's just not showing the price at all times. Do we go change this to something? I think I like that they're not all showing at once. I think I like that. But I don't think the fading in is a good idea. I think that's kind of silly. I don't know, though. It's kind of nice. Let's just try it the other way. So if it's less than the full opacity and if it's greater than this, return 0. So how about this? Just return 0. I think fading is fine. Might be better if the distance from fully opaque to fully transparent was shorter. Yeah. All right. Let's try what Magnetic Bind said after this one because I already typed this one out. But then yeah, we can just change those distances. Yeah, I think Magnetic Bind is right. Because yeah, this makes it flicker when you're right at the boundary. Okay. Good idea. So we just have this be something like 135, which is roughly 2 tiles, because these are 16 by 16 tiles. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We could also make it not a linear fade. Yeah, and I think we want to lower this even more to like 116 or 120. Let's try that. I forgot the player's movement speed, but I think they can cover like 3 tiles in a second. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. All right, do we have any 2 of the same item? No. And we can't get 2 of the same item because I can't delete these things. So if I open these chests, they'll just fly away. Goodbye, items. Distance from player to fully opaque is shorter. As in, like, if you were standing here, you could only see a couple of the items. So you're saying just subtract the same number from... Yeah. Let's try that. Minus 40. Which is 2.5 tiles exactly. So this is what this looks like now. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, okay. I think it's pretty decent. Now we could try the animated coin again. I don't think I really care. Do I? I don't. Yeah, I don't think I really care. I think it's fine as it is. So we just need to fix the centering at some point. So this is done. Show a coin is done. And only show labels when nearby is done. The only thing it's not done is the centering on this. I'll do that later. Item, what is that called? Price controls isn't really centered slash positioned correctly above an item display. I should probably have the texture rectangle be a child of the label. Well, not probably, maybe. I don't actually know. Oh, is an ad about to start? Oh my god. How's it been an hour already? My goodness. Hope it doesn't. I would have snoozed it. Oh, no, yeah, it started. Uh, well, I guess I'll take my break right now then. Yeah, so where I left off, check in the code. All right, is it jump time? Is it this thing isn't going to hear me time? Is it jump time?
It's jump time.
Hello, hello. Close the game. Hey, Rima. Happy Friday. All right, where we left off was we got to check in the code, and I said close the game. Come on. What is it? Okay, there it goes. I heard what was the game. Bluffed. So delete that. What are we doing here? So just the minus 40. We'll just evaluate these things. I don't need to have them typed out this way. I just didn't know if I'd want to change that. I want to change it in two places at once. Price controls opacity, price label. Sounds good. Wait, no, doesn't sound good. Not cool. First of all, I want this up at the top. Second, we can just assume these things were set. Price label, price controls equals no. Price controls is here. There, that shouldn't cause any problems. So if it's not valid, then return. I don't need this here. I don't need this here either. And what's it saying? Convert to switch expression. Yeah, that's pretty good. Good job, Ryder. All right, so where do we do this? Physics process? Regular process? Go through each item display, set this. It's in physics process. I think it's fine. Yeah. We cache these. So all we're really doing is getting the distance to the player and changing this and then refresh visibility. This isn't really needed because if the opacity is 0, we can just treat it as though it's not visible. So yeah, let's delete this. Let's delete the opacity thing. Why is this in so many different places? Has displayed price. What? What is that? Set displayed price. It should always have a displayed price, so this should always be set. Refresh price, refresh price. Huh. When we first create a display, or we don't actually create any new ones right now. We're going to need to. Yeah, we call register though. And register just adds it. Huh. So I wonder when that first gets set. Just put a breakpoint there. All right, let's try it out. So we just need to open a treasure chest, right? And it'll get called. I just don't know what's calling it. Try place item on display. Oh, I see. Item display, try get item ID. If this is true, this will always work. Oh, right. They might not always have an item. Oh, I'm being dumb. Okay. Well, then, should we just check that? In fact, I think if can interact with item is true, then we should just be fine. What is this set to true? Try place item. All right, let's test that out as our hypothesis here. Yeah, I'm going to delete this part. And I think everything should still work. So we get a treasure chest. We can put it over here. Yep, nice. It could actually be the item that has that price on it, and that way it flies with the item. But I don't think that's needed. So now if a customer comes and buys this, we should see it disappear. Yeah, perfect. Actually, all the more reason it should probably be tied to the item. Then it can fade out. All right, if I add some customers, I want to pay attention to this and see how it looks. Nice. Yeah, nice. All right, then we'll delete that thing about has displayed price. All right, this one sets the price label. What's the point of doing this? Clear displayed price should only ever be called when you can't interact with the item. Yeah, this is pointless. Anything else is called from here too. Anywhere we set can interact with item to true. Or to false, I guess. Clear displayed price. Where is that called from? Here, yeah. Okay, that's fine. So are those the only two places? No, there's also this. Set displayed price. I don't think we need this. Yeah. All right. And everything should still work the same way. All right, that was more to review than I thought for this. I think it's partially just because I didn't like how it coded this. Voice controls opacity. Yeah, the rest of this is fine. This is fine. This is mostly what I added, right? And then what is this? Build cheat item displays. Free it and continue. Interesting. Otherwise refresh. This isn't needed anymore either, is it? Oh, no, it is. All right, I'll just put a comment here. Whenever the player changes a price or like sets, yeah, changes the price of an item, we need to update all. This is not what we should put this on. We should put it on whatever the caller of this is. I'm gonna delete this. Okay. All right, cool. So I'll test this one more time, and then we can start working on the upgrade dialog. That one's going to be a little bit more intense. So let's test this. Should be fine. Yep, price is only showing you're there. If a customer comes and buys any of these things, and I'll speed this up, they should go away. And if I set any of these, let's say to 1,000, and then we have to find that particular ring again, it's not there. It's still not there. The odds of finding it are pretty slim. I should just set it on another thing. I'll set it here too. So the potion and the ring have had it set. Yeah, there, nice. Yep, new price was there. Good. We open up these things. We're good. Let's set it on the green potion at 400. Those are not the same green potion, even though they look like it, but that's the same ring as before. All right, cool. Show item price. We didn't already have a label, right? Yeah. Show prices above items. These only show when you're close enough. All right, done with all that. Upgrade dialogue. All right, let's start by adding a perk board to the game. I don't need AI to do this because I'm just going to put it in directly. So we're going to make a new scene. We'll call this perk board. Yeah. And it's going to be a sprite, which is loaded from the marketplace graphics. Whoops, not like that. Marketplace. And we need this region, 48,160. So there's our graphic. Give it a nearest filter and save this as subgames, loot boxes, perk board. All right. And then put it inside the loot boxes game. So you might not realize you can interact with this unless you're forced to move close to it at some point. So we probably need to, well, I guess for now, let's just put it anywhere. It doesn't matter. Yeah. What do I call it? Perks board. Yeah, so like there. Now the treasure spirit had, whoops, not like that. The treasure spirit had an interact region. So let's go put one of those on there. This is its own scene, right? No, it's just an area 2D. Yeah, it's just an area 2D. All right, so let's go add one in here too. Area 2D, interact region. Give it the right script. Give it a collision shape. Have that collision shape be a rectangle, which has to be a little bit larger than the static body that this is, right? Yes. Treasure spirit itself is a static body. This should also be a static body then. Static body 2D. And then we give it a collision shape and match it to whatever this thing is. 127. 127. All right, so its collision shape has no shape yet. We're going to make this a rectangle and have it be a little bit shorter than the actual graphic. So maybe that, maybe even like that. Yeah. And then this one is the interact region. This needs to be bigger. So maybe like that. I want to center it though. There. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, so we have our perk board and it's inside here. Yeah. So we're going to add this. Add a script to perkboard named perkboard.cs, which allows the player to interact with the perkboard that I added to loot boxes. Upon interacting, it should just print interacted with the perkboard for now. All right, that's just so that I can figure out this design. So we need to go into the Skeleseller dialogue that we had for this. I want it to look very similar, but not quite the same. Because like I said, I don't think we need tabs for this. I don't even know how many upgrades we'll have. But as long as it's fewer than like 20, we probably should be fine. So let's close all of these and go to perk panel tab. Yeah, here. So we had a title. We had some text underneath it. I think we should just have a title of perks, but not any of the stuff in here. So maybe just this is what we take. Yeah. And subtitle, did we use that? I don't recall that. I think some of these did and other ones, most probably didn't. Yeah, it just said town perks. There was no subtitle. We could actually just have it also say town perks here too. So how many are here? 3, 6, 7, 11. So yeah, you could easily fit 14 of these. then it becomes a bit of a problem. Well, let's worry about that in a little bit. Yeah. So there was some container for this. Perks panel tab showed up somewhere. Where was that? Perks panel tab. Panels tab container. Yeah, so this is the whole thing. So we want, I don't want this to be a tab container. I do want to figure out where this background's coming from. It's the tab container itself. Must have a panel background. Yeah, it does. Okay. So show in file system. Papers back full. Whoops. So panel container is that. Then on the inside of it is the white paper. Where's that? It's not quite rendering correctly, right? Here it is. This one is paperback sub. Inner panel. All right, and then this thing finished. What do we do here? Just added interactions. This should be pretty simple. It doesn't work. Interact region must be a direct child of an iInteractable. Yeah, so for the treasure spirit, as an example, this inherited, well, implemented iInteractable. I need the same thing on the new perk board. Oh, it is. What's the problem then? Oh, I never gave the script to this? Must be. So I did over here, but the main scene didn't get it. So we could just instantiate it again. Perk board, done, easy. And now we can play this. Nice. Yeah, nice. Pretty cool. This is coming together pretty quickly. Looks good. Yep, looks good. I mean, I made most of this. No, I made all of this. Yeah. All right, add perk board. You can't really interact with it yet. Or like, I should say it this way. Interacting with it doesn't spawn a dialogue yet. So this is done. So now prompt for getting the dialogue to spawn. Need to make sure you can't interact with the world while the dialogue is open. And then the dialogue itself should be a flow container of like perk buttons. UI up, etc. should navigate the buttons. There needs to be a way to close it. This is something we did in Skeleseller with the X at the top. And if you were on a controller, you just had to press the escape button on the controller, which was probably B or something like that. But in this game, it might not be as obvious how you leave this. You can still press the back button and it'll close it. But I wonder if we should put an explicit X and like when you press up when you're on this row, it goes up to there. It might not be obvious that that's where it is. So maybe we put like an explicit close button at the very bottom of this. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. And I think we did this somewhere in the game. I don't remember where. Did we? Yeah, here. Here's where we did it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's put a close button, an explicit close button. There should be an explicit close button at the bottom center of the panel. Although pressing UI cancel should also close it. What is UI cancel bound to? Joypad 1, which is Nintendo A. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. All right, what other theming do we need for this? So the outer panel, the inner panel, maybe looking at it in the game is the best. Just take a picture of this. All right, for each individual button for now, let's go get Skeleseller, assets, icons, abilities. Let's just pick any one of these. The apple, for example. Yeah. Perk icon. All right, the spec for this is probably going to take like 20 minutes to write out. But I think it'll save me a lot of time. All right, let's go get started on it. So when interacting with perk board in loot boxes, it should spawn an upgrade dialog. Maybe we just call it an upgrade dialog. Make a new scene named perks dialog.tscn that. Okay, yeah. So while the dialog is open, the player shouldn't be able to move or interact with anything else in the world. This is how the other two dialogues already work. What else? So the dialog will contain a flow container of perk buttons. Perk button is a new scene you should make. All right, so the dialog has an outer panel that should use, I guess, panel container that should use this for its background. Copy it into the SIABT, appropriate SIABT folder. And the dialog has an inner container that should use, what is it called? Paperback sub. All right. Perk button is a new scene you should make. It has an icon. For now, always use this. Yeah. So it has an icon. It is focusable with the controller. Each perk has an associated cost. Upgrades are called perks. All right, each one has an associated cost. If you have enough money, the button should be enabled. If you don't, the button should be disabled. Your money amount can change as this dialog is open, or while this dialog is open. So update the enabled/disabled state accordingly. Each perk, how does this work in Scala Seller? Yeah. Each perk has a maximum level associated with it. The player starts with all perks at level 0. Each time a perk is purchased, its level goes up by 1, and this should also emit a signal that we can listen to so that we can apply the benefits of the perk. All right, what else? When a perk is at the maximum level, it should show max underneath it and be disabled. I'll change the disable state eventually. And when a perk is not at the maximum level, it should show lev x/y underneath it, where x is the current level and y is the maximum level. Beneath that label, it should show the cost with a static coin icon, like what I used in what is it? Item display. Under, what was it called? Price controls. All right, what else have we not specified in here? The cost label should be hidden when the perk is maxed out. Oh yeah, there needs to be a title and the little horizontal rule. Where's the horizontal rule come from? Where art thou, horizontal rule? There you are. H separator. So a title and then an H separator, and the H separator has a particular graphic. Here it is. Copy. Wait, no, that's not how that works. This is how this works. Copy absolute path, yeah. Let's use this. Inner panel container, let's use this. Yeah. The inner panel container has a flow container of perk buttons. It's actually a VBox container. VBox container with 2 elements. And well, actually with 3 elements. A title label. This is always perks. What is it called? An H separator. 8 hills of gold. My second monitor the same way? With AI, you mean? H separator, yeah. Uses this graphic. And then I want the flow container to be at the bottom. Perk button is a new scene you should make. It has an icon. For now, always use that. It is focusable with a controller. So the way that we controlled this over here, wasn't there like a perk button? Yeah. And I think there was a shader on this. Yes, there was. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a button. It has to kind of look like it's a button. So it has an icon. It's focusable with a controller. Each perk has an associated cost. Yeah, so maybe I just say, despite the name, perk button doesn't actually need to use a Godot button. It should probably just be a texture racked with a shader controlling its darkness so that it's clear when you can add points and when you can't. And be disabled. The shader on the texture rack should probably make... What should it look like? Maybe just desaturate it? Desaturate the icon a bit to indicate that it's been maxed out. All right, anything else we have not covered yet? So we have the title, we have the two panels. I think I mentioned the close button. I did not. Dialog should have a close button. No, I must have, right? Because didn't I mention UI cancel somewhere? Huh. Apparently I did not. Okay. Centered at the bottom. This should be outside of the inner container that uses paper sub back as its background. Pressing it should close the dialog, as should pressing UI cancel. Upgraded 4.7. I have not upgraded to 4.7 stable, but I'm on the beta right now for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. I don't really plan to upgrade Skeleseller to it because I think it would take a lot of testing to make sure nothing breaks, and there aren't any real problems right now. Yeah. All right, anything else? UI up should navigate the buttons. There should be an explicit close button at the bottom. Yep, we got that. And this is done. You design this a bit. I want a shader on the upgrade button that makes them look pressed. Also make it look like you're pressing the rather, yeah. All right, sounds I don't care about. Is there anything else? I got these things. This isn't needed. And then you got the upgrades. Okay. I think this is pretty good. Let's read over it one more time. I think that took like 14 minutes to write. That's not too bad. When interacting with Perkboard, it should spawn an upgrade dialog. Upgrades are called perks. Make a new scene called perks dialog.tscn. While the dialog is open, players shouldn't be able to move or interact with anything else in the world. Has an outer panel container. Has an inner panel container that uses this. Has a VBox container with 3 elements. The title label, this is always perks. An H separator, which uses this graphic. And a flow container of perk buttons. Perk button is a new scene you should make. As an icon. It's focusable with a controller. Each perk has an associated cost. If you have enough money. So wait, how do you... There was no way to select these with a controller in Skeleseller. So there was no way to tell that it was... Yeah, there was no need to tell that it was selected. UI up, UI right, etc. Each perk has an associated cost if you have enough money. Maybe it shouldn't be a flow container then. I think getting the actual... I think getting this to look good would probably be tough. I think you can make a flat button though, can't you? Let's just try that. New control with a button that has an icon. Didn't I do some like crazy SVG loading thing for this? God, what did I do for that? Because I could have sworn we needed to do something here. You can't set the texture filter for this? Is that what I had a problem with? Yeah, I don't think you can. Unless maybe I set it on this. No, you can't do it on this either. That doesn't make sense. Oh no, it's up here. It's in favorites. Oh, because I'm in Skeleseller. Oh my god. I'm like, why are these controls in the wrong spot? Okay, I understand. Yeah. All right, I think linear makes it look better. So I guess it's a flat button, and then we just use a shader for everything. So I probably shouldn't be too prescriptive about this part. So yeah, it's focusable. All right, so perk button. The icon should be used in a flat Godot button with a shader on it to indicate all of the different states. Focused, not focused. Draw a border around it. Not focused. Disabled, maxed out. Yeah. All right, what else has associated cost? If you have enough money, the button should be enabled. If you don't, yeah. That is exported through the editor. Associated as a maximum level associated with it. So in Skeleseller, when you couldn't afford something, it would change the... It would change something about this. I don't remember what. Yeah, it would show up in like red-ish. Do we want that? When you can't afford the perk, its cost should show in red. Where's the cost label? Yeah, there it is. All right, I think we're good enough. Let's just... I'll have it plan this. That's weird. Can actually see plan there. Okay, and then what is my quota at? 4881. For planning. The upgrade dialog. All right, let's go back to the to-do list for a sec. So we've got this whole thing being planned out right now. This we can do later. And we got to figure out how many of these we even want to manifest. Actually, this isn't even cleanup. What am I doing? This is like balancing. Figure out how many items we even want to manifest. I don't want the player to have to set prices on like 50 different items. Then again, maybe that's somewhat fun if they're playing this for 20 minutes. So yeah, upgrades, then add the amount of money you have on screen somewhere. Then yeah, customers going around and buying stuff properly, treasure opening mini game, and some tutorial text. Yeah. Wow, now we pretty much have ourselves a game. Yeah, that's what I was saying. AI really sped this up. Like, this is day 3 of making this game. And granted, we took a lot from Skeleseller. It's still nice to see this. Now, something else I kind of wanted to show, which I can't easily show. Yeah, I can't easily do this. Is Quickie Joe made a lot of the platformer colorization masks. And they look really good. So at some point, I want to add that flow to the game of you can pick your colors, excuse me. All right, is itch running well now? Let me take a look. Let me see. Seems like it's fixed. Can I load all of these just fine? Click view bundle. Click something we haven't clicked before. Actually, I did click this before and it wouldn't load. All right, that's looking good. That's not a game, it's a broken tutorial. Yeah, so I want to look through some assets over here. I already pointed out a few of these that I think would be kind of neat. If we just go to summer sale assets. And I know I've looked through some of these before, but now just kind of seeing what's possible. Like, this is what I was talking about. A lot of these have large bundles that are somewhat high price for assets, I think. Like, you could probably make a game out of some of these packs, but you probably wouldn't use all of them. Like, in general, I don't think you'll have a town where you have like zombies and a fantasy tile set and like a city tile set. I think these are kind of opposites. Maybe you would. This isn't like super high fantasy. It's just a forest, really. Yeah. Hmm. This person produced a lot of different artwork. I'm guessing their page has all 3D stuff. I like the style they have too. They have their board game pack somewhere. Where is that? Okay, I don't see that here. Yeah, strange. Hmm. Reason for placeholders? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want to be careful because there are a lot of like farming and RPG tile sets. And there are only so many of those kinds of games we can really have in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial before the player's like, all right, I've seen a million of these now. Like this Tiny Wonder Farm asset pack. This looks good. I like it. It's just, yeah, how many of these do we need? So many chickens. Time elements, character core. Yeah, a lot of these come with character creators or something too. So we'd have the characters, but we wouldn't have anything really to do with them. You gonna do a 3D game? Yeah, probably at some point. I was thinking of doing something with this. Oh, this is a different K. Okay, never mind. That's why I couldn't find it. Oh, wait, no. It's the same person. Yeah. So this has everything you see in this picture, I think. So some playing cards, some dominoes, some boards, some chess pieces, some checkers, other little widgets. And I don't know what we would do with this, but like one of the dumb ideas I had is, what if the game was setting up a board game? You never actually got to play the board game. And we just had some arbitrary rules. Like, okay, make sure you've got, 4 red knights on the board and 5 of these purple skeleton things. And I don't know, the positioning matters or something, or it's some constraints game or puzzle game or something. And then I got to think of how it would be broken exactly. But I think this would be neat because we don't need like a full world and crazy camera views and stuff. And then let me mess around with 3D stuff. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this stood out to me. It looks pretty nice. How expensive is it? It is $250 or $375. So yeah, not bad. Anyway, let's keep looking through some of these. Oh, and I should also keep an eye out for this plan. Oh, the plan's already done. How much did that take? 41%. I guess there wasn't that much to figure out, huh? What is happening right now? What happened to... Oh, there we go. Preview. Okay, add loot boxes, perks, modal, open by, perk board.interact. It'll reuse existing loot boxes modal ownership. Spawn on UI layer, locks this while open. Sounds good. Add this, root control, full viewport, use the TRES file. Yep. 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 Root is flat Godot button, focus on controller keyboard. Level X out of Y or max, cost row. I don't want it to be animated, but I don't really care. So that's fine. Yeah, I don't care. Exported fields, stable perk ID, cost, maximum level. Sure. This will probably change in the future. I don't want it to be a string. Yeah, there's gonna... And I could tell it to change those sorts of things. Yeah, maybe I do. Fine. Actually, no, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Button state refreshes from current money and current level. Enable when affordable and not max. Disable otherwise. Cost label turns red when unaffordable. Cost row hides at max level. Shader state covers normal. Focus border pressed disabled. Max desaturated. It's perk purchased. Yeah, sounds good. Change this from printing, raising this to matching. Yep. Looks for perk ID, spends money on purchase, updates money changed. Yep. Cool. Yeah. All right. Let's go do it. Setting up a board game sounds really funny. I've been there setting up a complicated board game for like an hour. Do you have any other ideas about it? I haven't thought about it too much. Maybe I should think about it some more. Are you doing non-sidekick character sprite that gets reused as a different character? You could ask the character if they remember the other game, and they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Probably. Yeah. But I don't know what you're talking about. Like, there are kind of 2 states for NPCs. Or, well, I'll just say it like this. There's the agent state, like they can talk and think and remember. And there's the NPC state. They talk about the weather and have no real sentience. Now, sentience, of course, in the context of the game. So for someone to not remember that they were in a different game would put them in the NPC state, at which point they wouldn't be able to answer you at all because they'd just be talking about the weather. So it had to be someone who's like sort of on the brink of losing their agency. Anyway, I do kind of want to talk about this a little bit more. So the where is that? Did I close it? Okay, yeah, I think I closed it. Yeah, so setting up a board game. So question, what could I do with these assets as a broken tutorial? And here are the assets. So ideas that I had were, yeah, setting up a board game, but never actually playing. The rules could be like crazy complex. You have multiple boards and maybe it's a constraint solving problem. Put no fewer than 3 purple pieces down. Purple pieces must be 3 tiles away from red pieces. Something like that. Another idea that I had was this is really stupid, but the like person identifying information leak, the board game, like arrange dominoes in the same sequence as your ATM pin. Like choose the, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, fill out your password. This doesn't need to be a board game. Just some random idea that I had. And only the dominoes really support this, so I'm just gonna axe this. Or all NPCs like that? I thought all sprites would be bespoke to each game other than Sidekick. So there's a couple different parts of the game. There's like you going through the games the first time. You'll almost always see new characters. Sidekick will be shown a couple of times in different sub games. But then at some point you unlock the ability to backtrack, and now part of the goal is putting the right NPCs into the right games. And then you'll see like one NPC move to a different game and become an agent. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of work to do all this stuff. Punching out the pieces from cardboard and sleeving cards. I think that's fun. I don't know how we'd make that part into a game though. You'd have to have some like plastic outline for these, and you have a bunch of pieces and you have to like punch through them. But I was thinking it'd be cool to have something with positioning somehow. Maybe you start with a chessboard and you have to turn it into like a Monopoly style thing. I got to think how this is broken though. And this is part of the interesting meta game for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial is like there has to be something that on its surface sounds like a game, but then the real fun does not come from playing that game exactly as told to you. Like I almost, okay, here's another way we could do this. I found another asset pack on here. I will probably not be able to find it again. That there was some, let me see if I can find it. It was some like simulation city kind of thing where I was like, how do you make a game out of this? Anyway, the idea, before I forget, is that what if these little house graphics that you have here, you could actually like enter the house and customize what's inside of it. And that was core to this game somehow. Where is this asset pack? Oh, the thing is, I might have found it through any of these other ones. Man, yeah, I don't know. No, maybe it's this. Is this it? No, it's not this one. Something like that though. It's some 2D pixel art. Also, I really really like this pack. I definitely want to use something like this. I want to make a rhythm-based battle game where this is essentially what you'd be seeing is almost exactly this UI, but the characters are looping in kind of a rhythmic way. And yeah, I think it'd be cool to somehow tie that in. Impossible to set up, and the correct answer is just put all the pieces back in the box. You get points every time you put them back. What else do we have? Yeah, where is this thing? All right, well, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know how far down I scrolled, how many of these I looked through already. Whether I didn't even look, I might not have even found it over here. I might have been like, oh, this looks kind of cool. And then in looking at this, I was like, oh, there's a bundle. And then in looking at this, I saw, oh, yeah, that's the one that I wanted to look at. So, yeah, how much is this one? $150? Wow. Yeah, maybe you could enter the houses that you put down. Maybe it's actually Sim City, but you don't realize it until you place those pieces. It would be kind of funny if it's like, all right, to set this up, like we're gonna play a modified form of chess. Put the bishop down, and you do, and you put it in the right spot, and it's like, cool, plus 5 points. Now put down some pawns, and you do, and then it's like, okay, now add some monopoly houses, and you're like, what? And you put those down, and it's like, now put the pawns into the houses, and it just kind of keeps going along this very absurd route of like, now feed the pawns some food, and they like level up or something, and I don't know. You get some other like, yeah, we could just go from different absurd things. Bishops down, put pawns down. Like we're going to set up a casual chess game. Put some houses down. Make sure you have enough houses for your pawns. Feed the pawns so that they can grow. Yeah, I don't think we can do that with just these pieces. I like the zaniness of it. But an ad break just started, so I should really go take a quick break. So yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello, hey, Waller. Welcome in. Close the game. Okay, so this thing is apparently done. Yeah, let's go take a look. See if it did a good job. I don't think it's gonna look the way I expect. Our players see King of the Bridge, kind of a troll chess game. There are special rules that are hidden from you. Opponent can call you out for breaking them, and you can also call them out if they break them. I have not, no. Or if I have, it was only one of those, like, I just glanced at this page quickly. Hmm. I wonder if doing like a mixture of games here could be interesting. Like it's set up like chess. I don't want it to be chess. For sure, it should not be. It shouldn't be any existing game. It's got to have some zany rules. Yeah, I don't know. I like the look of it. It's fun to think of what it might be. That's interesting. So apparently they don't go around the perks board. Let's write that down. Changes need customers to avoid the perks board. Wow. Look at how terrible this is. It's so bad. It doesn't know how to set this up. Yeah, I gotta have it change a bunch of things. Or I have to change it. Yeah, I'll need to put some more thought into this. So we're at 27% and 77%. Yeah. All right. Let's go look at Scala Seller. So the way that the panel container was set up, we need the same margins. So I'm going to try to do this across screens here. Perk dialog. Yeah. Hilarious though. So outer panel style here. Okay, so we got to set all these things. This should be pretty simple. 178, 144, 186, 222. Expand margin 0000. This is all stretch. And I think we're good. No, content margins. Content margins 67, 11, 74, 85. Okay, there we go. So I am immediately seeing the problem here. These are just gigantic graphics, which work for Scala Seller, but for them to work for this game, we really need to shrink it down. Yeah. We can't change the scale of this, but we can change the scale of this. Oops. All right, this would at least cause it to fit on the screen. Let's not worry about that yet. Let's go change the inner panel now. So yeah, this is a mess. Where's the inner panel? Give me a sec. Sorry, this is hard to find. I think it's part of a theme we had set up. And I gotta go find that theme. All right, I might as well just do this on screen. And nothing's private here. I just Thought it'd be faster. Controls? No. We have all these paper stack theme. Here it is. Tab container, style, panel. Got it. All right, let's go get those numbers. 80, 88, 72. All of these are 0. Set this to stretch. Content margin. Subregion. What's that? Does this matter? I don't know if this even matters. It apparently does? What? 69.6? I don't know about that. And then I don't see content margins over here. Huh. Strange. Oh, there it is. All right, I don't know about this region. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I didn't set it for the other one, and maybe I should have. Now, where is it? There it is. Region. 61.95, 402, 367. All right, well, I think we're going to have to shrink this down then if we want this to look good. And then expand the whole thing. Does that even make sense what I just did? This isn't going to all of a sudden look better in the game. It's going to look like that exact same thing, right? Yeah. I mean, at least buying this actually does something. Like, it's got the general structure. It's functional. It just doesn't look good. And like I said, part of the problem is we have just very, very large images for this. That one is actually not super large, is it? 169 by 140. No, that's not too bad. But this one might be bigger. Yeah, this is 402 by 429. That's like our entire resolution. And there should still be a way to make this work. I just can't get this just yet. Outer panel. Yeah, what is the point of the subregion here? That's what I don't understand. Like, why was it set it all over here? I don't know. I don't know. But changing it does do something, right? Oh no, we can't edit this here. It's probably part of a... Oh. Oh, we do this over here? Oh, man. Paperback stuff. Yeah, this is different from what I typed in, I think. I've officially been enticed. I forgot that that was the name of my stream title. Galaxy Inferno came in earlier and said that she was enticed, and I was like, must have been about something I just said. I actually typed the title yesterday after I did my stream. I was just like, yeah, I might as well just set it for tomorrow. All right, so yeah, these numbers are wrong. This is 73. That looks bad, though. Stretch, stretch, no region. Oh, there we go. All right, so then I probably messed up this one. We probably just don't need a region for this. Yeah. All right, that's better. It's better, but it still doesn't fit. Way bigger than our viewport. And the only thing we can actually set a scale on would be this. So I want the graphics to be scaled down, but I want the actual containers to be just as large as they were before. I guess that would work, maybe. Yeah, that might. Oh, this is weird. So I already have this set to take up the whole thing. This is 2, but it doesn't know how to position this. The other thing we could do here is just shrink the graphics. Just open up Affinity and cut them in half. Then we need to cut everything else in half that we do too. Like there's probably a way to do this in Godot without messing everything else up. I wonder if there's also a way to just add another viewport or something that has a different size. That might work. Yeah, it might work. All right, what do we do about this? We can't just scale this, right? No. All right, let's take this out for a second. Let's copy this and paste it over. Let's close everything else. Let's paste it over here. So if I just expand this, yeah, this is what I want. Well, it's close to what I want. I don't think it's doing that correctly on the side. But that implies that I got something wrong with the margin. These definitely have to match exactly. But they have to match whatever theme we use for this. Oh God, so tough. Paper stack theme. Yeah, these are the values I should be using. I probably messed this up. 178, yeah, 206. Now I can't touch this. Change it through here. 178, 206. The rest are the same. Expand margins are fine. Stretch is fine. Content is somewhat different. All right, there. Now we're cooking here. So yeah, the only thing to figure out is how would we shrink all this? Was I using cursor or codex? I was using codex. So what if we add more buttons in here? I forgot to mention this should be scrollable. Need to make the flow container, the whole perk UI is scrollable, and bring the selected perk into view. It may be worth re-envisioning the entire UI to be more controller friendly. I'm thinking of just cutting these graphics in half. All right, per container, we're just going to duplicate a bunch of these. So this is expanding correctly. That's good. The inner container is not. It might have a maximum width. It doesn't. Set to fill. Outer content is what, a VBox container here? Minimum size here is at 460. So what if I just expand this? This is not having any effect. Strange. I wonder if it's butting up against something else's maximum size. Yeah, probably this. Just revert that. Oh, nice. That looks better. All right. We're getting somewhere. So now the perk button itself. Perk button is huge. What is the icon? 5454? What were they in Skeleseller? Perk. Here. Icon was 96 by 96. Oh, right. We had the content scale factor stuff. That's why we had to do all the SVG changes that I had. Hmm. Strange. Okay. So perk button, content, icon, level label. Yeah, so this is just a little too big, I think. Keep size, keep aspect. What is the size? This 192 by 192. And what do we do over here? Fit height, keep aspect. Fit height. And then we just set the height on this to 96 by 96. So if I said this is like 64 or 64, okay, that's maybe better. Let's save that. All right. We're getting a dialogue here. What about the separator? The separator never actually got the right style. Oh, it did. It just doesn't know how to use it. For the same reason that I needed to change all those other values. So we just got to figure out where that is. Here it is. And then we just set all the same properties over here. Hey, Scarbudico. It's going pretty well. Today's been another solid day. I have a lot of other little tasks I want to do. Some are not so little, like set up the Steam page. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. I want to rebrand my Discord to be about Xtonomus and not just Skeleseller. There's all sorts of stuff like that that I want to do. Quickie Joe just made a PR yesterday that I want to incorporate. And all of these things will improve the game or improve something about the game. And yeah, I just haven't done anything. Content margins. There's no content margin on this, right? 9. Oh, cool. That worked. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. We got some visibility here. So now let's try running this in the game. It's extremely high. Yeah, I heard. I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope it doesn't last forever. I think air conditioning rate is going to need to rise quite a lot. All right, so we set it to a quarter. I think a quarter is too much. This needs to be... Oh, did I save something? Wait, what? What happened here? Yeah, that's right. All right, so maybe half. Is it going to be messed up now, right? Of course it will be messed up. It just doesn't know how to position this when the scale is set. Can you do offset transform and set it there? I guess so. So what's our viewport at? 640 by 360. So that's the biggest this thing should be allowed to get. 640 by 360. It's already set to that though, and it's going out of bounds. So you said this is like 320. That doesn't do anything. We gotta set on this, I guess. Oh, it doesn't like that. I think because this is multiplied by 2, really. Yipes. All right, that's better, right? You still see the focus outline around the entire button. I don't know how I feel about that. I think we need to hide that. I think scaling this just makes it look weird, though. Yeah, I think this is dumb. Also, what happened to... What's going on? Pressing up there? What? Oh, it doesn't know about the flow layout. So it's just assuming things. Oh, my God. Oh, I do not like that at all. Is that limited at 9 apples? No, we eventually make it scroll. I just haven't done that yet. Mm. Okay, well, I think the answer is to trim this in an image editor and not just change a scale inside of Godot. Because maybe we could get it to work, but yeah, a lot of wacky things going on right now. Actually, it's not that bad, right? I think we just expand this to fill the whole screen because it looks weird right now. Yeah, just set the outer panel to be... This is doing nothing. Yeah, this is doing nothing. Max size is at the 1280. Minimum size is at the 460. 1000. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right, because it's divided by 2. So what I say 640 times 2 basically. So we do something like that and then just give it some padding. So subtract, I don't know, 100. All right, that's better. The inner panel should be filling as much as it can. Set to expand, but that's not correct. Close buttons and outer content. Oh, this is a mess. It's just a mess. Yeah, I don't think we should mess with scales of controls. I want to find some way then to make the texture go to half the size. Godot panel container. Change scale of texture. Is that a thing? I don't think it's a thing. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing. It's not a problem. I'll just scale the image files because we're getting closer to what I'm envisioning here. It's a pain to see it in the editor. Like if I increase this by a bunch, it'll eventually expand. Yeah. I guess the flow container part of this doesn't matter too much because we'll know exactly how many perks will be here. But yeah, that looks better, right? How's that look in the game? Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, you can't select perks that are max. This is gonna be a problem, right? Oh my god, I didn't even think about this. Yeah, there's oh darn it. You don't have any way to see what the perk does. In Skeleseller, you would hover over it and see a tooltip. So we basically need to show you the tooltip like while you're hovering over it here. Yeah. We need to add a tooltip with information about each perk. We probably need to resize the panel graphics. They're just too big for this game. And Godot doesn't seem to like it when you change the scale of a control node. I say it doesn't seem to like it. We got the effect I wanted. The problem is that in the editor, it doesn't look like that at all. Like, look at the rectangle here. This does not match what we see. Inner panel is like double the size. Yeah, this is double the size. It's just too hard to tell what's going on that way. It's not like these graphics are huge. It's 11 kilobytes. So if I cut it in half, it's not like it's going to save a bunch. Can't save more than 11 kilobytes. But that's not why I want to do it. I just want to make it look good in the editor too. So yeah, lots of little things that need to be done for this. And the other thing we could do is come up with a completely different UI. I think I like this though. I think it generally looks nice. There are some changes I would make to the positioning of things. But yeah, you need to still be able to select maxed out upgrades. You can still see what they do. Hmm. We could simplify quite a lot of this though by just having like a list of upgrades and they show what they do next to them, or not even having icons really. I did want this to resemble Skeleseller though. I don't know if that's a mistake. Because yeah, we could do something like this. It'd be like upgrade customer speed, upgrade, I don't know, loot. Where's my customer? There you are. Go buy something. Hey, you. Yeah, very neat. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, okay. I think we just stick with the current plan. Also, if this is how we're going to render things, if it's at this size, we have what, 3, 6, 8. We have 8 of these. We could easily fit 16. We're not going to have 16 upgrades in this game. I'm not going to spend the time coding all of that. So at some point, we need to come up with what are the upgrades. Figure out what they are. This game doesn't need like 50 plus upgrades. So maybe come up with any that have strongly matching icons already. Like shiny loot, customer speed, maybe like your speed. What else? How many items are in each chest? Maybe what else? Auto opening chest. Yeah, I think this one's really important. This would make the game feel really broken. Yeah, more treasure stands, more item stands,
Whoops.
and more customers. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, which is important. Chests are free, but we don't advertise that. But it's very easy for you to figure out that they're free because you'll buy one and you'll be like, "Oh, it didn't change the amount of money I have." So we'll show you your money at the upper left here. Buy this book for 4,000 gold. Come on, you know you want to. That won't happen eventually. There's going to be a price for every item and you'll have to figure it out. It is funny. Auto buying chess. How should that even work? Or maybe auto opening? No, auto opening is what I said. Yeah. Auto buying can't really be a thing. I don't want to add UI for that. But auto opening would allow you to just come over here and just spam the button on this. And it would just keep pumping loot into your system over here. So yeah, this is only very vaguely a game. Anyway, it's been pretty good working on this so far. So yeah, we have a lot of changes to make. I think we'll start with, where did it go? Yeah, this. I think this is where we'll pick up after lunch. Yeah, tooltip information. Show you how much gold you have and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, definitely coming together. How are we doing on quota and the reset? 117. Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. All right, I'm gonna go take my lunch break. It's 11:45 right now, 11:46. I'll be back in about an hour, and we'll pick up where we left off. I'd like to get this done by the end of the day, the upgrade dialogue at least, because then I don't feel like there's anything that's too crazy. Maybe just this treasure opening micro game. Oh, wait a second. That's why we can't have it auto open chests, right? Drat. Maybe we can't actually do this since there's the chest opening micro game associated with it. Maybe we just get rid of that game. I don't know. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go for now. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be back in about an hour. And yeah, see you next time. Happy Friday.